welcome back to my channel. Oh my God, let's get into this topic today. Before we do, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Okay, today, y'all, I'm on a schedule today. I gotta literally go pick up the girls, but I'm gonna try to go ahead and fit this conversation in. Know your worth, sis. Know your worth. Before we even get into it, who told you that you weren't worthy? What experience happened to you to tell you that you were not worthy? Who have you witnessed? Who have you witnessed from those sidelines that has impacted you to not also be worthy of yourself, to not have worth, to not have high value of yourself, to make you feel that you're not worthy of attracting the job, the career, but most importantly, that man? That's the starter there. And let that simmer just a little bit. Okay? And if that is you, someone who feels very guilty, one that blames themselves, the one that feels very angry towards the opposite sex, that man feels confused, frustrated. Why is he treating me the way that he's treating me? Right? Why? Why do you treat you the way that he treats you? That's the biggest question. Fear of the unknown. You don't believe that you're worthy of getting something else. You don't have boundaries. You don't set boundaries. You have no core values within yourself, right? So therefore you settle for mediocre. You settle for someone to, since you don't value yourself, someone also devalue you to the lowest depreciation. You don't appreciate, you de-appreciate, right? What thoughts do you have daily, by the minute, that attract that man to treat you the way that he does? Okay, let me backtrack real quick. If my door is locked, can you get in? Can you come and cause me any harm if my door is locked? No, you can't. That door represents my values. That door represents my worth. That door represents the highest of expectations and standards of me. Right? Follow along with me, y'all. If that's a good analogy, follow along with me. Now, if your door is unlocked, the door is open, meaning that you don't have standards. You don't know your worth, right? You haven't even had a conversation with yourself, right? Don't have standards. What do you believe? What do you think you will be attracting? Who do you think will be able to come into your home and do whatever the hell they want to do? But most importantly, who allowed them? Who allowed him to come in and treat you that way? You do. So we have to backtrack and stop looking outward of blaming him so much. Again, the shit hurts. We're gonna save that for later. The shit hurts, of course. But the pain that you experience, the frustration that you experience is only an extension of your lowest self. Because you haven't done the work. You have not done your work. Meaning looking at yourself in a mirror. You haven't spent time with yourself to really get clarity, specifically on who you are. What are the things that you need to become who you want to become? You haven't had that solo individual type of conversation by yourself over the years, right? So that's why you walk around with an open door. And you can't differentiate what is what. You're confused, you're doing this, because now you're attracting whatever. right? You're attracting whatever. I mean, if we're looking at brands, Apple, designer brands, right? Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton. Do they track whatever? They attract those with money. They have a specific audience, a specific population that they only target you. They don't do no discounts, right? So I want to talk about this conversation because when I say I sit here as a victim to that, no longer do. I don't claim her. She served a purpose. But now I'm in a space of literally leveling up, recreating my identity, being specific on who I want to become and who I want to attract, and being sure that there's no gray in that. I'm not gonna move pieces around and start changing locks for people to come into my home. Not I. Not I. Not anymore. So I sit here and hold this conversation is because the longer that you don't get clear on telling yourself that you're worthy of more and that you're deserving of better and that you are that bitch and that you are that boss and that you are that girl, that you are that queen, then you will continue to get the lowest of infliction on you from yourself, because you're your biggest inflictor, and also from the man that you attract. And there's levels to that. The longer you're dwelling in that space, the longer it's going to take for you to get to the happiness that you want to get to. Be careful of what you occupy every day, who you occupy every day. I'm at a point in my life where my value is increasing like crazy, you guys, that I no longer have time for any chit chat with anybody. That you already know that you're not on my level. Already know that you're not on my standard. So why do you even entertain that? For a distraction? No. We're staying on track with our goals. I know who I am, who I want to become. And I know the people that I want to actually attract on that road, on that journey. I had 30 years of that shit. I know what that shit feels like. I have had blame, guilt, shame, all of that shit. So I have this conversation today to open up a door for you to start thinking about how the more you entertain and the more that you focus on how you're not worthy enough, the longer you're going to suffer in that space. The longer you're going to block your opportunities, your blessings, your happiness. It's a choice. Every day we make choices. So if you want to be mad at any, and it's so easy to be mad at the person that's a mirror reflection of how you treat yourself. But nobody's ready for this conversation, right? It's called accountability. To begin your steps in knowing your worth, you have to first hold yourself accountable of the shit that you got yourself in, of leaving your front door open with no rules, with no type of locks to protect yourself. So be okay in that space of like, you know what? I didn't lock my doors. I didn't. Shit, I didn't know what lock to get. Damn, I actually couldn't even find my keys. Right? Like, be okay in that space of however long it's going to take you, of just accepting that you can keep your door unlocked for so long. And that's what's attracting men who doesn't value you, who doesn't respect you, who stumps all over you. Because you do that for yourself. You do that to yourself. So since you do that to yourself, it comes out physically. We're spiritual beings. Spiritually, you're talking to yourself. You're vibrating on the, I'm gonna do everything I can to make this work. I'm gonna do, like, oh my God, it's been 10 years. It's been 15 years. So what? So the fuck what? In the next 15 years, what can be better? The next 15 years can be more, right? So what of the time that you wasted? So what? You're gonna experience a level of just being in a storm by yourself until you can transition offshore. So what? Don't you think you're worth that? No, you don't. That's why we're here. It starts here. A lot of us have these conversations of, you break up with somebody, oh, I ain't gonna do that again, I ain't gonna da-da-da-da-da. You haven't even spent time, sis, to get this shit straightened out, You haven't even took the time to clean it out, to go to Lowe's to get some new locks. You haven't took the time out in your home, right? So you gotta, knowing your worth is the key to solve the majority of your problems. No. Knowing your worth is solving your problems. It's creating the happiness that you desire. It's creating your identity of who you are or who you want to become. All right? There wasn't really, a 1, 2, 3 type of thing for this conversation. I just, it's just a conversation that I really just wanted to speak about today because, it's from my history, and also just conversations that's been going on this week. And I think it was a video that was actually highly needed, So yeah, you guys, that's all that I have for today. Know your worth. If you don't know your worth, then you need to spend time on figuring out what that looks like for you. If you don't know your worth, you need to make it a high necessity and priority, mandatory, to figure it out. To figure out what that looks like. And if you don't know, look at people already in media, whoever, that you just have aspirations for. Not saying to be them, but to like how they operate. Looking at people with high value qualities. Looking at women who have high value. That can be where your start is. And you probably have came across many women where you're like, damn, I love her energy. I love how she doesn't settle. I love that. We can look at Sierra for instance. There was a time when Sierra was literally settling, didn't know her worth, and said, fuck that. Hell nah. Fuck that. I'm going to pray and have faith until I get what I know that I deserve. She didn't know what that looks like at first. But she went through a period of just separation, isolation, to get to where she's at, to attract who she knew she deserved today. So what is it going to take for you to get to that point? Is my question. So I'm going to tell you right now, the longer that you stay in this space and not invest in yourself and not focus on yourself to evolve, to grow, the more you're going to be so unsatisfied with your life. The more you're going to continue to be blaming yourself, shaming yourself, feeling guilty, going through your grievance process of every man, every relationship that you're encountering. Like, do you want to really deal with that all the time? Why do you believe you're not worthy enough is the question. Why do you believe you're not worthy enough? With all that being said, you guys, regardless of anything, it's a process. And nobody can do this work but you. And I'm here to support you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to relate to you because I know what that shit feels like. I know what it feels like. But I now know who I'm working with right now. And she's a whole different beast. She is a whole different beast. I am a beast. Like, seriously. And I look back at her, the old one, And I sit there and look at her, y'all, and I'm like, gestures to get more than compliments to get my attention, baby. Okay, but we'll save that topic for another day. Right, that's it for today's conversation, and I am sending you guys love, guidance, healing, light, okay, and strength, because you are resilient. See you in the next video.